Present data analytics and data.
All right, I'm gonna cheat a little bit and recycle something I brought up in our August meeting. Only because I get asked about this one a lot. And it's quite simple. I'm a big fan of kind of using what you have, not necessarily worrying about, kind of what you don't. Sometimes you gotta take advantage of what you have. So I wanna talk about color for a second. It's possible to match any color profile out there with what you already have on your work computer. It's not as hard as you might think. Anybody work for Walmart? Good, all right, I don't want to get in trouble. I'm about to use Walmart. Give you an example, like when I get to this point with the dashboard and I'm kind of ready to actually start really mocking up the finished product, 9 out of 10 times what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna use, if we have branding or things like that, yeah, that's great, but sometimes you're not gonna be lucky enough to have that kind of stuff. So if you're not, typically I'll use a company's website to kind of get their color palette, and that's kind of what I mean, in that sometimes you can just basically take advantage of, well, I'm not sure if it's being blocked here. Let's see if this works. And what I mean by this is that sometimes you may leave the ecosystem of Tableau, but at the same time, you're still kind of able to recreate things in a way that kind of, maintains that same kind of look and flow and ebb and feel, if you will. Trying to think, I think that's it. So if I were to build a Walmart dashboard, and this thing were to, this dashboard, this website actually doesn't look like this. That's kind of why I'm kind of surprised. All right, maybe we won't do this one.
Walmart image, maybe?
What's that?
If you look up Walmart image, you might be able to...
No, like there's an entire header up there that's just for some reason, like you see how it's, what's that?
The blue header?
Yeah, like, because it's, what's strange, yeah. All right, so let's,
Do Sam's Club.
yeah, all right, let's do Sam's Club. Good idea.
Get the family.
Yeah. Matter of fact, if this doesn't work, does anybody want to use their real company? We can even do Slalom if you wanted. If these guys wanted to. I don't want to put them in the spot. Yeah, that's not even the right Sam's Club. Yeah. All right, I'm going to try one more thing, and then we're just going to give up on this one and move to the next one. See, I was kind of hoping that there would be, because this is kind of just at the end of the day, just a kind of a white-on-white palette. I was hoping to have actually like a branded color scheme. Let's use Bank of America. You guys don't mind, do you? You Bank of America associates?
It's on the public website, you can have it.
Okay. Yeah, because there's like HR people here and stuff, so yeah. It's on the company website, so yeah. All right, so let's say, I wasn't for Bank of America, but let's say I was building a Bank of America branded kind of dashboard. What I would do, based off their own company profile, is I would kind of literally use this as kind of my inspiration as far as color is concerned, because I could probably pull this exact same shade of red, this exact same shade of blue down there, and even the company logo, and kind of go with that. So how would I do that? It's quite simple. If you have a Windows PC, for your work computer, you have snipping tool. There's a bunch of different ways to do this. You could do this with
It looks a little different on mine because it's Windows 10. It's the fourth tool from the right. It's like the little circle. It's right beside Skype.
Okay, right beside Skype. Oh, so it's this.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
And then new is it?
Thank you. Okay. All right. So yeah, you have snipping tool. At the end of the day, you can just basically, it's just glorified screen capture. That's all I'm really doing here. Is just doing this quick screenshot of this. But really, now that I have it here, like what Jeremy did before, he had his, and he brought it into, I believe, PowerPoint. I'm going to take this, and Jeremy, where's the? I just want to copy this. Is that it?
Sorry. Copy is to the right side. It's the 2 sheets.
The 2 sheets. Thank you. All right. I'm just going to copy this and bring it into Microsoft Paint. And again, Paint is something that's on every Windows computer as well. And again, the reason I'm doing this, like I said, with Jeremy, he brought it into PowerPoint because at that point, that's kind of how he wanted to use it. I'm bringing it into Paint because Paint is the one free tool that you all have. You don't need Photoshop. You don't need anything special because Paint has an eyedropper tool. And what that means is with this eyedropper tool, see it's right here, it's this color picker. I'm gonna click on it and it's gonna isolate whatever color I click on at this point. If you wanna know what Bank of America red is, watch up here where it says color 1. See how it's a black box? I'm gonna click anywhere in this red, now it's red. I'm gonna click on edit colors. I just got the RGB value for Bank of America Red. I can use that in the dashboard, and I'm gonna show you how. And that's why I said that this is kind of one of these tips that you can take advantage of in almost any capacity. You know, if I was gonna build a header and a footer, typically, and not like if I was gonna do it, when I do this, this is actually literally how I do it. So I'm gonna go back to that to show you. The red was 220, the green is 20, the blue is 49. I just created a horizontal. I'm just gonna go to the background color here. I'm gonna click on more colors. You notice that looks quite familiar. I believe it was 220. Thank you, yep. 220, 20, and 49. And just like that, we now have a box which is Bank of America Red. I'm gonna kind of put this accordingly, but you can kind of see where I'm going with this. You know, I'll put this way at the top. I'll make that 0. I believe this dashboard is 1,000 pixels wide. I'll make this 1,000 pixels, and we'll make this, you know, something nice and tight and neat, right about 70. So at this point now, I'm kind of, as you can see, I can start branding with a theme now. I kind of can start putting something together. I'll make a footer with the exact same way. And at some point, you know, I bring the logo out and then we throw that on the top as well. But as you can see, I don't have Bank of America's color profile, you know, whatever they have a branded template in that company. I work there, I know that for a fact. Most companies do. But I'm pretty sure I'm gonna come pretty close to exactly what their real thing is. So this is just an example, like I said, of how you could theoretically take advantage of the tools that you have to start building dashboards in a way that you can really start to, you know, make them look professional without necessarily having to have access to, you know, underlying information specific. I didn't call HR, I didn't get that. I just kind of went off their website. We could keep this going. I could start putting shades of blue, and I could probably make this dashboard look a lot like that website if I wanted to, with what I have. I didn't need any special tools. So that's the key one. The trick with this one is that you can use a lot of tools to do what I just showed you. I just want to show you that you could do it with the tools that you already have too. You know, you can take advantage of some of the stuff that's free and still recreate the same effect.
How did you get to more colors?
Sure. More colors in Tableau?
Yeah.
Yeah, good question. To get to more colors in Tableau, literally, I'm just going to click on that horizontal. I'll bring another one out there. I'll bring another horizontal out, and then I clicked on layout, and then I just went to background. So if you right here on background, now I've got, you know, the regular color selection. The more colors is right there. You know, this is where you choose your defaults. But if you go to more colors, and if you do this, I would encourage you, if you want to do this, use the RGB values, the red, green, and blue. You'll notice that we had the red, green, and blue, and the hue, the HSL, the hue, saturation, and luminance. Don't use the hue, saturation, and luminance. So for those who don't know, that's really more about lighting and stuff like that. If you use those exact values, it won't recreate the red. Use the RGB. That's really going to be the exact, that's what the computer interpreted as that color. So you'll get very, very close color matches. It won't be perfect, but to the human eye, you won't be able to tell the difference.
Awesome.
Hey, Rashid. This is my boss, so he won't get mad at me. I believe on Tableau, on the select more colors, you can do pull screen color. There's a little box there. It's the same thing. So that's typically what I've done is right below the big giant box. If you pull screen color, you hover and it'll do the exact. So if you have multiple monitors, you can go over to the monitor, just click, and it's one click and done.
Good point. Yep.
Thank you, Rashid.
Yeah, no problem.
That's called pull what?
Pick screen color. It's right there under the basic colors. And to Taylor's point, yeah, if you have multiple monitors, you can just kind of just, you know, have the other thing up on the other screen. Just kind of, you know, just click whatever you want.
And if you want to develop a palette that you can use other places, you can insert that into your XML and it loads
I was going to ask about that. Can you create a palette that then you pull into your
100%.
visuals, into your color,
Yeah,
into your
100%.
color card?
You can add your own color palettes to the
that's
Tableau XML.
Yeah, I mean,
Preferences file, you would just edit it. There's 2 million blogs about doing it, so
yeah, it's very simple. And to Jeremy's point, this is it. If you ever want to get into your real, you know, this is all of your actual, and these codes you see in the middle, don't let those things make you nervous. All those are your HTML color codes. If you notice, when we put the red, green, and blue from Paint, you see how we just have HSL and red, green, and blue? But if we go back to Tableau, the Tableau one will actually come up with the HTML color code value. And what I mean by that is that as I start moving these things, you see how at the bottom, the HTML color code, it's changing?
The hex code?
Yeah, that 6-digit hexadecimal. And that's what you would put in the My Preferences file. So you really can't control color any way you want in Tableau.
So almost all companies, major companies, have a branding guide. This is a key facet of a branding guide. They'll literally list their color palette in hex. The simplest way to do it.